I'm going to start this bike today. I think I've done like 4 videos where I said that's going to happen. Dude, I got so far a couple weeks ago, and then I really wanted to help my buddy Steve because he hasn't been able to get over here as much. And so I took time off of what I was doing and started working on his just so he could get a lot farther. And we are going to move that seat back. If you watched that last video, we decided he went ahead and ordered new pieces so we can move that back because it's just sitting way too close. But 2 weeks ago, I started wiring her up. I'm going to share that with you guys right now. Everything was going really good, and I was like, oh, we're going to get this started tonight. So you're going to hear me say, you're going to get this started tonight. And come to find out I had the wrong plugs. I didn't even know Yamaha's had different plugs. I ordered them from xs650, but they were too small. So I got new plugs. They just came in. While I took some time off, my buddy hit me up, and we up in Pennsylvania to have, I think it's called AOAA, if you guys ever heard of it. It's all these off-roading tracks. It's like, I don't even know how long it's like 100 miles, but it's unbelievable jumps, hills, all that for Jeeps, 4-wheelers, stuff like that. I got this old 1998 4-wheeler sitting in my property in West Virginia. I went up there, put a new carb in it, plugs in it, and I made it the whole 8 hours, dude. It was such an awesome time. However, when I got back, she was smoking pretty bad. But my plugs are in. I'm getting ready to set timing. We're going to freaking start this bike today. At least I think we are. I hope we are. If not, I'm going to share it with you anyway, good or bad. My buddy Steve should be over here in a little bit. So that way we can go ahead and cut his stuff out and weld it. If not, we'll do it in the next video. But I'm going to go ahead and set timing now and get gas in her and finish wiring her up. Now, all my wiring right now, and I'll share that with you, is just temporarily exactly where I want it, but it's just like wire tied and taped until I can find a really clean way to do it, whether I get sleeves. I just don't want wires everywhere, and I'm trying to get this as clean as possible. But I didn't drill any holes through my frame to push them through because I want to be able to get to everything. So I still got to find some type of attractive sleeve system that I can attach tightly to the frame that'll look really cool, because I don't want to see many wires. I want this to be as clean lined as possible. So that's where I'm at. I think that's where I'm at. Yeah. All right, check it out. Last weekend when I was doing this with you guys, and I stopped to get everything going for Steve, I went ahead and laid my wires out, got my directions out. I pulled up the directions that I got from Jay over at Asylum Cycles. I even got the directions from TC Brothers for the regulator rectifier. I've got everything laid out, and I think I've got everything figured out. The only thing that I'm dealing with right now is that even though it's just a little bit of wire, I mean, we're talking a positive wire to the regulator rectifier, positive wire to the fuse blocks, then to the key switch, then to the regulator, back to the regulator rectifier, another positive wire to the on and off switch, from the key to the coils, and then all my greens were grounds. I don't know why I didn't do black as ground. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. So I started laying all that out, and even though it's just a little bit of wire, it's a giant freaking mess. God, I can't imagine how this would look if I would have had turn signals and all that stuff. So I'm going to get some close-ups with you and show you what I'm dealing with. Maybe you guys can comment on that. But I'm trying to hide everything as much as possible, but I don't want to be cutting holes into the frame and trying to hide the wires. The plugs for the regulator and rectifier, they're huge. So I'd have to be disconnecting all that, rewiring it all up, and I don't want to do that. Plus, I also want to be able to get to it if I need to fix it. I'm real funny about it. I want to be able to get to it if there's a problem. So I did test my rear brake light, and I tested my headlights because they're wanted to make sure that they worked before I wired them up. I won't need the push button. I thought I'd need the push button, but the key switch that Jay gave me, it's got a off, a run, and a start. So I could just turn the key like you would starting a car. So that'll be awesome. So I won't need the push button. So that'll be less wire at least. So I do have all the directions from him because I was able to go through and start figuring out where all my wires went. And luckily, he marked everything nicely for me. So if it's red and white connected, which is the battery to key. A red with 2 whites was the key to the fuse blocks. A red with 2 blacks was the kill switch power. you know, blue is the high beam, purple's the low beam, white's the running light, orange the brake light. I mean, it's really well detailed. So this should be simple. I'm hoping so, because I really want to start this bike. And I know I still have to do the timing on my points and probably even my rockers. I'll figure that out here in a second. But let's get some close-ups. Let me show you what I'm dealing with first, and we'll go from there. Sorry, I will stop saying that, I promise. All right, so I went ahead and put everything nice and neat that I think I'm going to be needing tonight. My tools, screwdriver, wire cutters, the wiring harness itself, directions, and then minus obviously everything that's already connected to the bike, which I'm going to show you here in just a second. Now, I do have a game plan, so if this doesn't work, then we'll just go right to this. Not the cat litter, just this. But if it's really bad, maybe this. but hopefully not. All right, so let's get some close-ups. Let me show you what I'm dealing with now. I already went ahead and did wire ties. I'm just using clear wire ties right now. The reason why I'm doing that is until I make brackets for it, I just want to make sure this is the placement that I want. So I don't want to do anything else until all that's figured out and finalized. So I'm just going to use clear wire ties till I get it all together. Now, the fake oil tank's where I'm supposed to be hiding most of these wires. And then I'll have my key switch coming out of the cap here of this oil tank, and along with my on and off switch for the headlights and tail lights, and then my on and off switch for the power to the coil. So what I'm thinking is I want to keep my fuse box. I've got to run my power to the fuse, then to the condenser, okay, which I'm hoping I can attach to the motor somewhere so it looks like part of the engine and not, yeah, see, that might even look good, and not just hanging out. The cool thing is it's stainless steel, so it won't look too bad. I don't want the fuse box inside the fake oil tank. I want to be, it's got this cool little cap. Might be waterproof, might not, I don't know. But, you know, I don't like riding in the rain anyway. I'm thinking about putting it right here behind the regulator rectifier, because I can just get to the cap right there and then replace the fuses if need be. The one issue that I'm dealing with is that I know I have to drill holes into my fake oil tank. Now, I still have all this to deal with. All this is for the front, okay, which somehow has to cleanly go from here all the way over to there. It's for my headlights, which is the high beam, low beam, and it's also for the brake switches. Then I have this set up for the rear, okay, which isn't too bad, for the brake switch and for the rear tail light. And the rest of this should be able to hide inside that box. Now, I've got to somehow find a way to cleanly get all this from here up to here and then carefully out to here. Now, the coil, that single coil that I was telling you guys about on my last video and where I got it, fit perfectly under the tank. You don't even see it, which is awesome. So I just, one side's negative, which will go right to the points. So that's real simple. That won't be a whole lot. This positive wire will run to the rectifier and then to the fuse panel. And the fuse panel is going to be right here, so we won't need a lot of wire there. So that probably won't look too bad. What I'm thinking is, now that I've been looking at this more and more, I'm thinking of having the fake oil tank supposed to go up here. And instead of having any holes down at the bottom of it, I'll just have holes at the top. And the wires can run from the battery to the frame, which I'll put it inside that sleeve, and then tie to the seat mount, and then down into the box, so we can kind of keep all this open. I mean, this is the whole reason I love these Yamahas, is it's a smaller motor and all this stays open. To me, that looks the best. I love Harleys, but Harley choppers, it's all motor. I mean, I love the fact that you see all the details. So, and I think my seat hides a lot of it. You can see that there. So I think that's going to look kind of good. So right now, let me work on just this system here, getting my power from the battery up into this frame and into this box, and start seeing if I can locate everything there, and then slowly start pushing my way out. But if I can do that, I don't think that's going to look too bad. So let's see if my idea works, and maybe it won't. Get a little bit more detail. All right, so here's what I'm working on. I went ahead and put the the condenser here. Now, when I did the start video, I said condenser from my power, from my fuse. I apologize. I keep getting that confused. The rectifier is on the ground with your coil, okay? So I apologize. The two wires that come out of your points, okay? They connect into this double plug here because it's 2 plugs. So I have these old plugs here. It's where they connect together. Now, the original system was you had 2 of them, and 1 wire on the coil on your points. One went into one went into the other, and then the condenser has 2 wires, and they would go into that as well, and then it would be grounded back to the frame. Now, what I'm going to do is, since it's a single system, I'm hoping this will be enough. We'll find out if it's not. I went ahead and just put both of the points, the point system, into just one, and then I'm tying it together on the to the rectifier's wires here. So I'm just tying all these together so that you have the 2 wires from the points going into the 2 wire to the single wire. That single wires, I just took the 2 wires from the condenser and just wired them all up together. And then I'm putting one of these systems on so you can connect them. And so I'm going to be using the blue as the ground, and the black and the white is my positive because it's a longer lead. It'll reach to that. So I'm going to go ahead and do these. I got these special plugs from AutoZone so I can get all this set up. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on now. Now, if this doesn't work, what it means is that ground isn't good enough. So if I have to, I might have to ground it. And I was thinking that back to the battery, and that's how I did it on my original one. So if for any reason I did this wrong, I just need to add a ground because that ground isn't good enough. But it should be good. You should definitely be able to ground to the motor. I say that now. Now I'm trying to start this bike going, I don't know what's wrong. I freaking hate wiring. I do freaking hate wiring, just so you guys know. It is definitely my Achilles heel. I can't even wire a DVD player. I'm not kidding you. Every time we get some type of new system in the house, I'm always calling my wife going, Shannon, you come give me a hand. So, and then this will connect in here. I got to squish this a little bit. It was a little loose, so let's squish that a little bit. A tighter fit. And then that connects into here. So we're going to get all the grounds out of the way. Yes, that's working really well. Perfect. All right, so if I did that right, 2 wires from that come out of your point system go into this 2 wire to single wire connector. I took the 2 wires and just put all 3 of them together, okay, and then ran it to the coil, because you have the negative side of the coil, which connects to the points in the condenser, and then you have the positive side of the coil. So I'm hoping I did that right. Plus, that looks nice and clean. I'll be able to hide that inside of here and maybe to the frame and try to come up with something attractive there. So we'll see how that looks. Now I'm going to go ahead and start on all my positive wires now that that's out of the way. But I wanted to show you that video first because I said the wrong thing, and I had to go back to my original video and to Two Wheel Workshop's video and Mr. Miyagi just to confirm that I was doing it right, because those guys know what they're doing. Me, on the other hand, I don't know. All right, you can see I started drilling. I put tape over the oil tank. I had to put a hole at the top, and I had to put a hole at the bottom. And now I'm trying to feed the wires through before I put the sleeve back on. What a pain in the butt this is. So I'm going to put the sleeve on, or tape. You know what? I'll tape it all together. I just don't want to lose where all these went, how they went, and so on and so forth. All right, so this is my front wires that go to my coil and headlights and all that fun stuff. All right, now I started drilling my smiley face. I need a bigger hole for the key switch. Yeah, it needs to come over there some. So, all right. So now that I got that, so let's do this properly. These have to be disconnected because they have to go to the fuse panel. That's no big deal. Just disconnect them, and we can connect them back. So let's go ahead and feed them through. Hoping this hole's big enough because this is the biggest bit I had. This has to do it. Now I still did, I know I didn't want anything coming out of the bottom. A hole in the bottom for venting for moisture is a good idea. At least that's what I'm trying to convince myself it is. Because I do have my thicker battery wire needs to come from the bottom. So I'm going to start feeding all this through. And then we can figure out where everything goes. All right, guys, this is where I'm at. That doesn't look clean at all. All right, so I've got my switches in place. Once I have all my stuff, the other two switches are back there. All right, it's actually not as bad as it looks. So this is my key stuff. So let's just put that in there real quick. All right, man. Oh, yeah, you can't get me in. You're on your computer. All right. Then I've got my battery wires coming through the bottom. So that's not too bad. So this is the setup right here. So I'll be able to tighten that up. That won't look horrible. All right, so that'll all connect to the battery, which we'll get set up in a second. This one here goes to our fuse box up top. So, and then these, all this clumber, jumbled jig mess, I don't even know, goes towards the front of the bike. So let's see how this comes out. I'm hoping it's better than what it's starting with. So we'll see. I got everything wired up. I got the you know, my brake lights and all that are still hanging out, but I went ahead and got everything fished through. I got everything connected, got the battery connected. Now I'm going to make all those wires tighter, but I just want to make sure it works. And I'll check this out. Ready? I'm so excited to hear that. Okay, so the starter works. Everything works, which is freaking awesome. The now, when I'm in public, I plan on kicking it so I look cool. But when no one's around, I plan on doing that. So this is a really good point. Now I still got to do the points and all that. I got to, you know, connect the positive to the coil, spark plugs in, but carburetor on. But this is a major step, man. I feel so good right now. I feel so good right now. So it's definitely worth it. It's getting late. It's been like 5 hours. I know the video's like been like 10 minutes, but it's been a long time getting all this together. So I'm gonna keep going though. I'm too pumped to quit. All right, guys. Now setting points gap and timing on a points bike. And this motor is a 77. It's actually really easy to do. Now I do realize that most of my videos aren't very informative. In fact, if anything, they teach you what not to do. But it really is simple to do. But if you do need help, and my video obviously wasn't enough of an explanation, which I know sometimes they're more goofy than anything. Two Wheel Workshop, that's the name of his YouTube channel, has an awesome video on this, and so does Old Biker. Both of these guys have great videos, and then everybody knows Mr. Miyagi. But Two Wheel Workshop actually gives you a close-up, step-by-step on how to do this. So if you're looking to do this yourself, again, this video is for fun and hopefully get this bike running, and we're sharing how we're getting all these things done. But this is really just to show you guys where I'm at. But if you need, definitely check out that video. So what you're going to want to use is a 4mm or 0.16 of a thousandth. And I think I can get a decent video. Sometimes it's better to see it. Let's see if that number will come in. Oh yeah, there you go. And it's real simple. You're going to go ahead and you can turn the motor from the kickstand, or you just need to take your cover off. Hold on, it's getting there, right there. So just take your cover off, and you can just put a ratchet on it, and you can turn your motor that way. And what you're going to want to do is, sorry, it got all blurry. Again, this is why I'm not instructional videos. Still blurry. Come on, man. Work with me, fella. You're embarrassing me. All right, so all you got to do is loosen this, whether it's a screw or a Allen key. Mine are Allen keys because I bought new ones from Mike's XS. And you're going to go ahead and loosen this, and you're going to turn that motor around until the high point on this wheel here opens this one up. Now this is the right side, which does this side of the motor, and the left side obviously does the left side. If you're facing the bike, that's how the motorcycles work. If you're facing them, this is right. I know in a car, you'd be sitting in it, but a motorcycle is different. So I think it's different. I don't know, I'm confusing myself right now. I literally just had this conversation with Steve last night. we were joking around. I know I'm getting off topic here, but we were talking about how all motorcycle pictures, if you go Google them online, they're all 90% of them are left side pictures. I think it's because the way the kickstand is, and we thought it was like some conspiracy theory, but now we know we're just idiots. It's just the way the kickstand is. So, but and so you're going to spin it. I've already worked on mine here until that opens up. You'll start to see this one open up as I spin it. Right, hasn't opened up yet. And now she's starting to open. Now you see her opening. You want to do that till she stops. See, I went too far, starting to close. And that's when you're going to put your feeler gauge in there. Okay, now I've already done mine. Okay, loosen this bolt and then take your flathead screwdriver and you move it up and down this way. Okay. All right, so if I remember correctly, setting the ignition timing is also easy. Maybe. All right. All right. So first thing is we want to know, and I'm cheating because I already tested this. We want to make sure that we wired our bike up properly. So if I did, when these points open, I should get power to the points when they open. Now, all I'm using is a test light, and I just connected the negative to the battery. But just move it around. Oh, I didn't turn it on. All right, see? Ah, there we go. Look, see? So if I did it right, which I did, maybe, and you'll see when they close, it'll go off. And then now that's not it. So now we just know that it's wired properly. The next thing is you have marks, okay, on your case itself. You have a T and an F. The T is top dead center, and the F is fire. And top dead center is when the right side, top dead center is on, they call it the right side. That's right, because when you're facing the bike. Again, this is why if you're really looking for help, you want to go to those videos I was just telling you about. So now what we need to do is we need to get our top dead center mark on that's located on our wheel to match the case. And so right now, when our points open, let's see. Oh, I know I just saw spark. All right. My points open, my top dead center mark's up here somewhere. So in order to do that, I just need to loosen this screw here so they don't open and close while I get that to turn all the way around. I think that's what I need to do. And I may go back to a video here in a second if that's not correct. But let me see if this is it. All right, so there's those marks I was telling you about. You see how that line is now in line with our fire mark. Now, if you notice, now that I've done that, when I put my power onto the points, when that's on fire, this light needs to come on. If I'm explaining this properly. So as soon as that comes to that, it's when it should just start to come on. So that's when we just start to get spark. So I need to loosen these right here, and see this? You put a flathead screwdriver in here and you can move this plate back and forth. If I'm doing this correctly. I did just watch Two Wheel Workshop's video again, so I think I got this right. Okay, so right now you'll notice that light's not on. And if I take my flathead screwdriver, which is right here, I think I got to come down a little bit. Yeah, come down just a little. And I did this a second ago. Nope, a little bit more. I got to get it to where that light just comes on when I do it, which I'm going the wrong way. I'm trying to do this with one hand like an idiot. Come on, baby. All right. Let me do this without you guys. So I have two hands for a second. There we go. Sorry about that. So we want that light to just come on. So when I was turning it with both hands, I want that light to just come on. And that's where I want to tighten it if I'm doing this properly. So let's tighten this back up. And then one more time, we'll check our gap. and throw some boom boom juice in this bad boy and see if she'll start. And if it doesn't, well, because I did it wrong. All right, I had to let the battery charge up just a little bit more. I got everything done, spark plugs in. I'm not going to connect the fuel system and all that right now because I still want to take everything off. In our next video, I want to get the back tire on, the front tire on, and all of this wired, cleaned up better. And like I said, find some type of sleeve, something like this that I got. I don't know, something cool. Let me see what I can come up with. But no time like the present. Wish me luck. You guys are knowing I already did this once. Come on, baby. Oh, it was awesome. That was awesome. The starter, well, it's a 77. What do you expect? I don't plan on using the starter too much, but I have others that I can swap it out with. But I want to try this again. I want to get a good run, good sound. Hopefully. It takes a lot to turn. You know what I mean? Timing's still got to be way off. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about this. I haven't even adjusted the valves yet. That's definitely going to need an adjustment. We'll go through all that. Let's see if it starts. Come on, baby. Put on the choke. See what that helps. Alright. I really need to go through and finish adjusting everything, but that is still flipping awesome. So I'm gonna share with you guys, if you guys still want to see that AA thing in Pennsylvania, I'm gonna do that after this video. But next video, Steve didn't make it over. Maybe he'll still be coming in later, and we'll just add that to the video next. We got to move that seat. I still need to go through and completely adjust all this stuff. I do think one of the grounds is a little weak, so I want to go through that and start tightening this stuff up. And I want to get these tires on. So in our next video, I want to have some longer runs, but I don't want to put fuel in it if I'm going to be taking it all off. So I don't want to put fuel in the gas tank and all that right now because I'm going to take this back off. But I think that is pretty awesome for today. I don't know about you guys, but it starts. I will see you next week.
Look like, right? Yeah. Let's take a look at this one. Look at you, pretty ass thing, you. You guys suck.
Yeah, I saw it coming.
Yeah, that's not supposed to do that. Oh man.
Getting worse.